What's up guys, Hudson here from Hudson's Media, and today I've got you a very cool tutorial. And this tutorial I think will help you advance in Cinema 4D. What we're going to make is this scene here, and you can see it's a text with some texture and a very cool text. Okay, so we're going to use Cinema 4D R14 and After Effects cs6, or After Effects CC if you have it. And what we're going to let me explain briefly what we're going to do. What we're going to do in Cinema 4D, we're going to make this scene. We're going to make this simple scene here, like this text and this aerial plane or scene. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it is actually. And this environment. And after that, we'll take it to After Effects and put this scenery here. You can see there's a light flare, and I like using flares actually, if you don't know me. Yeah, so that's basically it. Let's start the job. So we'll get into Cinema 4D, and on the film and video preset I'm going to put HDTV 720p. Real quick, I'm going to make a disc. I'm going to resize it, make it really big. Okay, and I'm going to add some segments here. I'll add some disc segments to 15 and rotation segments to 35. That is cool. So we're good to go. So now when I'll click on the disc and press C to make it editable, and now I want to edit. Now you can see why I made it editable. Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm literally talking to myself, so don't think like I'm with someone here. I'm alone. So real quick, we're going to press V. Under the select tab, we're going to make a ring selection and press 2 of the rings. So we'll press the first one, which is this one, and the second one, which is this one. So if you want to press 2 of the rings, you will press the first one and hold shift and press on the second one, and now we have 2 rings selected. And now we're going to right click and press extrude. Gonna extrude them a little bit, like right there. So that looks amazing. And we're gonna make another ring selection. I think that's fine. Extrude it again. Yeah, and I really don't recommend my tutorials for beginners. So if you're a beginner, I really recommend going and just Google for some beginner tutorials. I don't know how to do beginner tutorials. So after you're done that, we'll want to make our text. So I want to make this tutorial very quick. So I want to model first, then I will do texturing, then put it into After Effects, then finalize the shit. So real quick, we're going to more graph and more text. Add more text here. Since it's a tutorial, I'm going to put a shitty text, like dope. So my font here was Agency FB. Now I'm going to zoom into this map, to this guy here. We're going to add some depth to like 40. We don't want a lot of depth because we don't want it to be fake, you know. We want it to look real. And we'll put a cap, a fillet cap. Reduce it to 2. Yeah, I think that's enough. And right there we will want to put our environment. So let's see where we've gotten into, where we're at. So that's our scene when it's not rendered. It looks pretty stupid. So I'm going to add a sky. I'm going to add a sky. So since we've done the scene, I'm going to now start materializing the shit. So under the sky, if you've watched my last tutorial, I used some HDRI, so you are used to HDRI now. I think you've done some exercises, and I'll put this cloudy HDRI. I'll turn off the specular here and put it to the sky real quick. So we have this cool scene. It looks cool to me, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. So I'll peep to my scene here to see what I did, because I really don't remember. So on the ground here we have some cool texture. Let me see where it is. Under the color, I'll look for my texture. Okay, I found my texture. I think it's this one. And I'll turn off the specular again. It was dark, so I'll add the dark point a little bit and reduce the exposure. So we have that cool place. No, not yet. Okay, so I'm going to show you this cool trick here on Cinema 4D. So on the disk, we can materialize this disk on Cinema 4D R14. I don't know whether R12 or R13 can do this, but you can materialize your edited subject, NB edited subject, and you can put different materials at different selections. So right here, I think I'm gonna make this selection. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm going to make this selection real quick. Okay, so that's the base. So when I drag a material, it will only materialize the selected place. So you understand me now, right? Okay, I know you did. Anyways, I'm going to select the rest of the thing. So you want to make sure your selection is pretty good, and you'll look for another texture, and you'll want to texture that thing. Oh, so for this tutorial, I'll just use a different material because I don't seem to remember where I put the materials I used. So real quick, I'm going to do some setting here. I'm gonna preview that. So you see now we've got a very cool scene. So now we're going to do our lighting. So we'll add a simple light, a very ordinary light, and drag it up, not very high, and drag it behind the text so that we get the shadows we wanted, if you've seen the scene. So real quick, we put some hard shadows, very hard shadows, and let's put a very different material on our text, then we will be good to go. So I'll put a real very quick, very cool material, like I can't seem to realize which material I want to use. Okay, I'll do randomly. Okay, this one. Okay, I'll make it darker. Reduce the exposure. I mean increase. I don't know. Oh shit. Reduce. Yeah, reduce. Make it some grayish, cool text. Okay. So I'm going to put it on our text, and I'll add some global illumination, and let's see where we're at. Okay, so you can see we're getting there. So we can see, if you saw very well, you saw carefully, our text isn't very, mostly if you drag a custom texture on your text, if you render the text, will only be materialized on the sides and behind it, I think. So on the projection, we'll press on the material, and on the projection we'll put it to spatial. I don't know what to call it, spatial, shit like that. So yeah, like that. So when we render that, okay, so you see this text isn't very well. No, but I think that will do. Oh no, I'll do it spatial, since my texture here is not really perfect. I'll kindly look for another one. Yeah, I think that one will do, but it will still be the same shit. I'll add another light to the front, but this one won't have shadows, so I'll put it right in front of our text, and I'll reduce the intensity to like 30. Yeah, I think that's cool. First preview. So at first we were doing this stupid shit, but now you'll see what Cinema 4D does for us. Okay, so you can see we were doing this, and now we're doing this, and this. Very stupid, very clever, excellent, I may say. So since it's a tutorial, I'm not going to do advanced things, so I'll quickly save it. A very simple JPEG. And I will render it. Okay, so we'll jump into After Effects, and right there is where you want to do the compositing. You will drag your image on After Effects, and that image, that dragged image, you'll put it on the new composition tab and release it. We'll now have a new composition with our image in it. So now, real quick, I'm not going to waste any time, so I'll add that stupid flare I had. So I'm using optical flares from Video Copilot. You'll want to purchase that from videocopilot.net. Options. So on the flare we'll put this simple flare. It's a preset. If you buy optical flares, it's automatically installed. Okay, there's the flare we want. We'll want to do that 3 box thingy, so we'll add an adjustment layer. So I'll zoom out to cut it out. So I'll select a rectangle mask tool and drag it right where you want it. For me, I'll just put 2. I'll put 2 adjustment layers because I don't have time. Okay, so now that adjustment layer, let me just show you a fast example. It will only adjust the masked area. So real quick, I'm going to add some brightness and contrast, and I'll put some reddish, and decrease some blue, so we've got some orange brownish thing. So now what we want to do is put those lines. We'll double click on the rectangle tool after we've made a black solid, and we'll duplicate this mask by pressing Ctrl D, and on the second mask we'll put I forgot the name, to subtract, and the mask expansion to negative 10, I think. Yeah, that's enough. So I'll want to put another stroke in between there, so I'll make another black solid real fast and draw a mask, a very thin mask, and I'll move it right where I want it, which is right there. No, actually right there. So I hope you've got something from that tutorial, and see you next time.